Shalom. First and foremost, when all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. Yours will be edifying. It says, big earthquake swarms near Nevada supervolcano, sparking fears of potential eruption. And we know there's been a lot of seismic activity among these regions, especially among the San Andreas Fault and also Yellowstone National Park, which a few months ago they showed a video of black bears and black bears and particular animals appears to be fleeing like a mass exodus, because the animals are more connected to the spirit because for the simple fact they're not distracted by all the madness. Okay, animals still operate within their instinct for most part, so they're able to pick up on certain signs that the average person may ignore. This is what the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, watch the ant and it should teach thee, because you can learn a lot about watching animals and how they move and how they do certain things, man, which an ant being important because of the work ethic, right? But this is just a quick video about Dub 7. It's going into these various earthquakes in diverse places because, hey, the plagues are here. Okay, Babylon is getting hit on all sides, from the clement weather to tornadoes to hurricanes to tropical storms to earthquakes, pestilence. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of the video, get a couple of precepts, and that'll be that. So here we go.
This is Dabu 7. We have some earthquakes swarming, hitting in northern Nevada, and this is near a supervolcano, and they're saying it's sparking fears of a possible eruption or this thing springing back to life. The McDermott supervolcano in the region, you can see the swarm here on the right side, and when you look at the earthquake map itself, we'll go over there now, zoom in, you can see in the northern center part of the state, this is picking up, and it's picking up with magnitude. And we just witnessed a magnitude 6 kill over 800 people in Afghanistan. So it's all about where these quakes hit, not always about the magnitude. As we can see here, this is a 5.3. That's a strong quake to hit in this area. Some speculating maybe some kind of fluid or magma on the move underground in this region. Others saying it just could be the local tectonic plate activity. But there are a lot of choppy faults that run all through this region that shoot different ways. Some shoot up toward these volcanoes, others shoot down toward Southern California, which was the basis for the whole movie, San Andreas.
Right, and if anybody remember that movie, San Andreas, came out, I think maybe back in like 2009 or something like that, or around 2012. Had a movie about The Rock. The Rock was in it, and it was basically had a lot to do with the San Andreas fault erupting, and I believe it was like a mega quake, like 9.8 or some shit. It totally destroyed parts of the West Coast, and the rest is history. So they put things like that in these movies to it's called predictive programming. Now, while we don't know the magnitude of the destruction, the scriptures do say that Babylon would be broken into 3 parts, predicated upon the missiles hitting it. But even then, like if you go into like the Elites card game, they got something which is called like the Illuminati card games, and people put satire out there and showing like different maps of Babylon, how Babylon would be broken up into 3. I mean, that's yet to be seen and determined, even though the scriptures do mention she will be broken up. The city should be divided in 3. You know, but you know, we just have to see how it all plays out. But let me get a precept real quick. The book of Isaiah 13:13, and it reads here, and it says, "For the stars of heaven and constellations thereof should not give their light, and the sun should be darkened in his going forth, and the moon should not cause our light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And because I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." And that's all due to idol worship, because like I mentioned, the people here are all invested in their dainties and their festivities, because this is what you call a do without wilt society. Okay, that's a total Marxist way of living, when people are living and sure utter wickedness because they can, because there's no repercussions for the wickedness of today's world. Um, how can I say it? There's no repercussions for it as far as a societal point stand. Okay, you can be a mo, you can be a drug dealer, you can be this and that. Until the Lord steps in, Esau's not going to come in and bring justice because he's not a propagator of justice. He's the devil, you know. And it says here, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir. Okay, meaning that a man of the Lord is going to be worth fine gold in that day, because we're coming into the time now that things are collapsing. People are going to seek answers. People are going to need protection. And the Lord is going to allow us, his men, just to stand out like a sore thumb in that day because we kept the faith. And it reads, it says, therefore would I shake the heavens, and the earth shall move out of our place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts in the day of his fierce anger. And that goes into these earthquakes when the missiles hit, and these cosmic storms. And like, I believe we got a blood moon coming up next week, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think it's going to be visible here in the northern hemisphere. But I think majority of Europe and parts of South America may obtain or see that eclipse, if I'm not mistaken, from what I can remember. All right, so yeah, the Heavenly Father is not bullshit, man. All right.
That whole thing started in Nevada. Well, this is kind of similar in terms of starting in Nevada. Where it goes from here, we don't know, but wanted to put the heads up out there and let it be known that this is a big swarm. The government controlling a large portion of the region, of course, just south of there, Area 51, and other installations. So a lot of different things could be happening underground in this area. But what scientists are saying is they speculate that this could be magma on the move, and they're tying it in to the supervolcano. So just a heads up here, a lot of swarming going on here. Something's going on for sure. Between 3 and 5 magnitude quakes. Yeah, something's going on here. I'll keep you posted as things change, and I'll leave a link below. Join me for the live streams, One Life Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Dabu 77.
And there you go. All right, because you go here, it says a 3.7 and a 3.2 magnitude earthquake was recorded Tuesday morning just after 9:30, so that was today. It says the pair of quakes struck approximately 30 miles from Valmy, which is a small town located in several active fault lines in the region. And America is one big fault line. Okay, matter of fact, let me do this. How many fault lines are in America? You'd be surprised at the answer. Okay. So here we go. It says the United States is crisscrossed by thousands of geological faults, which is it's a perfect setup, because once the missiles hit, that's going to erupt or ignite those other fault lines, and that is going to cause an even greater impact of destruction. Okay, gas lines, you know what I'm saying? Old gas lines. This place is one big time bomb, man. At any time, a crib can just fucking blow up. Like, sometimes those houses, they just blow up because they have what they call they have like underlying gas leaks that's not being detected. But it says here, fractures in Earth's crust where rocks can slip and cause earthquakes. It says, however, the exact total number of faults is not a fixed or easily accountable figure, because faults vary in size from tiny fractures to massive zones spanning hundreds of miles. And new ones are continually discovered through geological surveys and seismic data. It says many faults are buried deep underground and only become evident during earthquakes or through advanced mapping techniques. It says, additionally, not all faults are active or capable of producing significant seismic activity, but the focus for hazard assessment is often on those that have shown movement in the geologically recent past, which they go into a quaternary period for the last 2.558 million years. And that's all bullshit. Hell, we even older than Earth, if you understand that. We're because we're the ones that helped in creation of this place, and the Earth is roughly 12,000 years old. Look, all this 2.5 million years, that's all bullshit, man. You wouldn't even, I think the oldest tree ring go back to roughly like 5 to 6 something thousand years. So Esau's a damn devil. All right, but anyway, it says key data on U.S. faults, quaternary faults, and fold databases. While it says this is the most authoritative U.S. geological survey, resources for faults with evidence of surface deformation from large earthquakes in the last 2.58 million years. It says, as the latest updates, it catalogs approximately 2,000 individual quaternary faults and association folds across the contiguous U.S., Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. territory. So, wow. It says this database is used for national seismic hazard maps and includes detailed parameters like slip rates, recency of movement, and geographical locations. It reads it excludes the older or inactive faults and those without clear evidence of quaternary activity. So the true total of all faults, including ancient and buried ones, is much higher, potentially tens of thousands when considering all scales and regions. Wow. So yeah, America is one big booby trap ready to implode. All right. And it's perfect because, like I said, man, the Lord set this place up to be destroyed. But this is the book of Hebrews 12. And I'm going to start at verses 25. It says, and see that ye refuse not him that speaketh, for if they escape not who refused him that spake on the earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh in heaven, but whose voice then shook the earth. Okay, because the Lord, he calls the councils. It says, but now he promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven. Okay, so yeah, Yahweh Shai, man, he's a power to be not to be reckoned with. And it says in his word, yet once more signify the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, yet those things which cannot be shaken may remain. All right, and the Lord is actually going into like how he's going to sift, Israel, and he's going to bring back a remnant. Okay, it says, for wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us hide grace, whereby we may serve the Most High acceptably with reverence and godly fear. For our power is a consuming fire. So yeah, the Lord is a God of judgment, man. For those of you out there that seems to think that the Most High is this fluff and puff, no. Okay, the Most High gets down, okay, when need be. People may say, well, why God allow this to happen? It's all part of a plan that Yahweh Shai is enacting through prophecy. All right, and the Lord ain't caught up with you. He will catch up with you eventually, okay? This is the book of Mark 13, and I'm going to start at verses 5, and it says, and Yahushua answering them began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you. It says, for many should come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and should deceive many. And we should hear of wars and rumors of wars. Be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end should not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there should be earthquakes in divers places, and there should be famines and troubles. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So this is part of the prophecy. Earthquakes and Babylon the Great getting totally destroyed and set up in judgment. It's all part of the Heavenly Father's plan. All right. This is the book of Joel 3. And I'm going to start at verses 15. It says, the sun and moon should be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake. Okay, because when Yahushua comes back with that chariot, there's going to be an angelic-like power landing on the earth, man. All right, and the earth has not felt anything as such since the beginning, since when the Lord flooded this place in the plagues of Egypt. That the Lord has shook this place on a national scale. Now the whole world is getting ready to see the judgment of the Heavenly Father. And it says, in heaven and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel, man, which is the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American. So anyway, I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.